I'm going to demonstrate a basic PipeGears application by creating a simple web service. Now to start, I need to create a trigger, so let's just drag this web service trigger onto the canvas. And this web service trigger essentially creates an HTTP endpoint that accepts requests at this URL here. I can specify the method that I want and even the path if I want. Let's just put something arbitrary here. I'll save that. So now when I have requests coming into this URL /hello, it will trigger this flow. Now this web service trigger by itself doesn't do anything until we actually respond to the inbound request. So let's just create an action here. I'll pick the web reply action, and this is one that's designed specifically to be used with this web service. Let's just connect these two, and when I have an inbound query, I will respond with just a simple message, hello world. Alright, let's just save that. We'll start, and by generating a query here, I'll see what I can get from my response, and here's the string that I specified, hello world. Now let's just make this do something a little bit more interesting. I'll disconnect these two, and when I get a query, let's just create a timestamp here so that we can get the current system time and respond back to the user with that. So I'll just connect these gears back together. I will create a timestamp and assign it to a variable named time. And now in my web reply, I actually have access to that variable. By typing the $sign, I can call up a drop-down that populates with all of the variables that are available. I'll just click Save, rerun this, and now you can see that I have my timestamp showing up. Each time I generate a new request, the timestamp is updated. Now what we can do if we want a JSON formatted message, since I already have my content type / application / JSON here, I can just create the JSON format that I want directly as a template. So let's just do message hello world. I'll create a new attribute for the time called timestamp, and I'll add the time here, and I'll close the curly brace and save this. Now when I rerun my request, you can see that I get an actual JSON formatted message here. Alright, now let's do something else. We're going to add a date format to this. So we're going to convert that timestamp into an actual human readable date format. So let's just pick the date format logic here. I'll connect these back together. Now the date format can use the timestamp as the input created in the previous step. And I'll specify some kind of a date format. I'll just cut and paste what's in the help here to make things quick. And I'll assign that to a new field called date. Now save. Now in my web reply, I now have access to this new date attribute, so I'll add it to my JSON object here. Date, and then date. Like that. I'll save that, rerun the application, and now you can see that I actually have my date stamp coming to me. Now if I want to see what's actually happening in the background while I'm doing this, I can actually open the console, and while I'm running these requests, I'll see the messages in the background live as they occur. So you can see here all the properties that are available in the message that I created. The time variable that I created, as well as the date, and there are a lot of system variables that are created automatically by default. So since this was an HTTP endpoint, all of the request headers and the cookies that were available in that query are automatically available for me in that message. And I can make use of them and pass them as inputs to other gears along the way. Alright, so that's a basic view of how to create a very simple flow in PipeGears.